Burnley 1-4 Newcastle. Vincent Kompany's side move closer to relegation with chastening home defeat. Report and free match highlights as goals from Callum Wilson, Sean Longstaff, Bruno Guimaraes and Alexander Isak give Newcastle 4-1 win over Burnley at Turf Moor. Dara O'Shea header provides little consolation for Clarets, who must win both remaining games and hope results go their way. A nightmare afternoon for Burnley left them 5 points adrift of Premier League safety as a 4-1 hammering by Newcastle, coupled with Nottingham Forest's win, edged them towards relegation. The Clarets began Saturday with an outside hope of ending the day outside the relegation zone, but now must win both their remaining games and hope results elsewhere go their way to avoid the drop. Following Forest's 3-1 victory at already relegated Sheffield United, Burnley even began brightly at Turf Moor, with Lorenzo Insigne a particular danger. But once Callum Wilson had fired in the rebound from Alexander Isak's shot, it became a familiar tale as the hosts collapsed, and quick-fire goals from Sean Longstaff and Bruno Guimaraes put Newcastle out of sight before halftime. The Magpies could even afford to see Isak miss a penalty shortly after the break, though the striker soon made amends from close range to reach 20 league goals for the season and cement 6th spot. At least until Manchester United travelled to Crystal Palace live on Sky Sports on Monday night. Despite Dara O'Shea's late consolation from a corner, another chastening defeat for Burnley means anything but maximum points against Tottenham and Nottingham Forest will ensure their relegation. Even a point for Forest against Chelsea next week, live on Sky Sports, would likely be enough to send the Clarets down regardless, owing to their vastly superior goal difference. Despite that, Vincent Kompany was in fighting mood and refused to give up hope of survival, telling Sky Sports, "If it wasn't the fact Forest have to come here on the final day, I'd say it would be difficult. But because they do, although we can't control what they do next weekend, that's one game. If we win that, they lose theirs, then special things can happen. That's enough for me." How Burnley's survival hopes took worst possible hit. A run of 1 defeat in 8 had given Burnley real hope of survival less than 2 months after they sat 11 points adrift of safety in mid-March. Newcastle's own upturn in form in the search for Europe threatened to dampen spirits, but Burnley flew out of the blocks and saw Jacob Bruun-Larsen denied by a sprawling Martin Dubravka. Not for the first time this season, the hosts were then caught out by their opponent's first attack, as Wilson prodded home from close range after Janet Muric had denied Isak. Burnley continued unabated but had a mountain to climb once Longstaff fired across Muric for a second from Jacob Murphy's smart layoff. 5 minutes later it really was game over. An Anthony Gordon-led counter was turned inside for Guimaraes, who side-footed in at the near post, leaving a helpless Kompany to watch on from the dugout stony-faced. Whereas Wilson had been booked for diving inside the Burnley box in the first half, Gordon won a clear penalty shortly after the break when he played a 1-2 from a short corner and was brought down by Josh Brownhill. Isak pulled rank despite Wilson's desire to take the spot kick, though was left with egg on his face when his weak effort was easily saved by Muric. He soon made amends, however, when side-footing home Murphy's cross to put the gloss on an already dominant afternoon for the Magpies. The few home fans remaining inside Turf Moor had something to smile about late on, when O'Shea nodded in from Johan Gudmundsson's corner, but that was as good as it got. What could have been a day where Burnley finally lifted themselves above the drop instead ended with them needing a perfect set of results to avoid it. Kompany, something special can still happen. Burnley manager Vincent Kompany told Sky Sports, "We played against a better team today. We brought in the energy, put ourselves in an overachieving position. And we had chances and momentum, but when you don't seize that, it can often go against you. Fair play to the team to fight until the end, we never let the game die down. We were there. But they were better. The team was up for it, there's no lack of effort or lack of support from our fans. Everybody's up for it, everyone wanted to have a go. But today we have to congratulate the opposition. We have to live again, towards hopefully doing something special in the next game. On survival chances, if it wasn't the fact Forest have to come here on the final day, I'd say it would be difficult. But because they do, we can't control what they do next weekend, but that's one game. If we win that, they lose theirs, then special things can happen. That's enough for me. Howe, first goal settled us down. Newcastle manager Eddie Howe told Sky Sports. It was a tough start, but we thought it might be with the position Burnley are in, and this is a difficult ground to play in. But once we settled it down, we played some good football. I thought the first goal did that. We never looked back from that moment. Scoring goals is the most difficult thing to do in football. So if we can be regular goal scorers, then we've got a chance of winning games. We know we have to improve defensively, but I thought we were pretty solid today. On 20-goal Isaac, the penalty miss can happen. He's been really good from the spot this year, but I'm happy he got his goal just after. That'll give him a big lift. On European hopes, we're in there fighting for those places. It gives us a much better position than before the game. Now we go into a tough 3-game week, starting with Brighton. What's next? Burnley's penultimate game of the season is at Tottenham on Saturday, May 11th. Kick-off 3 p.m. They then host relegation rivals Nottingham Forest on the final day on Sunday, May 19th, kick-off 4 p.m. Newcastle still have 3 fixtures to play. They host Brighton on May 11th. Kick-off 3 p.m. before heading to Manchester United on Wednesday, May 15th, live on Sky Sports, for a crucial match in the race to qualify for Europe. Kick-off 8 p.m. They complete the season at Brentford on May 19th. Kick-off 4 p.m. Thanks for your watching. Don't forget to click the subscribed button and hit the bell icon for more.